All right, folks, we're back again to Matchweek 10, and the English Premier League it's entertaining. We've never expected such kind of things to happen, especially like some teams coming up. Let's talk of Sunderland and Bournemouth coming up from nowhere to be, in the top four. Wow, that's so interesting. And yeah, English Premier League is always interesting. Like we said, it's been interesting and it's going to be interesting until no end. All right, folks, yeah, we're back to Matchweek 10, and let's just go quick through about the games match week 10 that are going to happen on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to be sharing with you my screen here and just take a look at, again, this from Premier League website. These are the match week 10 games starting 11 o'clock, which is Canadian or East Canadian time or East North American time. I'm gonna be sharing with you the screen. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, you just gotta get to it because you're not gonna wait for this. What time are you waiting for, right? So just let's get into it, right? So it's more of Premier League games. So let's get into it. What do we have here? Yeah, match week 10. So here we have Brighton, Hove, and Leeds United. That's the first game that is going to be happening. Brighton playing the south coast of England again, home playing with Leeds United, which is a tough team. That's going to be a tough one. I would say there's going to be a few goals there. If you're really like into betting, there's going to be a few goals. Burnley and Arsenal. This is going to be interesting one. Arsenal again going away from home, but given the fact they are fighting for the title, so it's not going to be easy for Burnley. But they will give Arsenal a good test. So Burnley and Arsenal, that's going to be like a tough one. But Arsenal might win. Arsenal set piece or some sort of things to make it work. Crystal Palace, Brentford. These are two tough teams always in England, and they are like the mid-table teams at some point because they can challenge anybody. You have just seen in the midweek Palace challenging Liverpool and beating Liverpool 3-0 at Anfield. So they are playing at Selhurst Park against Brentford, and this is like a huge London derby. I love this kind of games really. They are more interesting. Fulham and Wolves. Wanderers Wolves again is a team that is not really making any progress at the moment. They are a bit slow, and but Fulham playing home, Craven Cottage is going to be that noisy, and Fulham might expect something to please their fans and make things work on their end. So I would stake my bet on Fulham if I was betting, yeah. And Forest, Manchester United. Again, Forest is not really doing well given the fact that they have like sacked two coaches at the same this season. So I don't think they will overcome Manchester United. Manu now with a tough, good start of the season. I mean, good start in the mid of the season, not mid of the season, but let's say like quarter mid of the season is really making some moves. And now Ruben Amorim and plus the players, they are really making impact. I think their progress is working now. So this one again, Manchester United might come superior. I do believe United will come superior about this game on this game. Tottenham, Chelsea. This is the most fascinating game tomorrow, and I bet you tomorrow I might be interviewing fans from Spurs and Chelsea at the same time, asking their views and everything. And this is the most interesting game that I would be willing to watch. This game, it's so nice, good game to watch. A huge London derby. Again, they are playing at London Stadium. It's going to be interesting. Tottenham has changed under coach Thomas Frank, and Maresca also at the other end is still making Chelsea work. Anyway, Chelsea always know how to play with Spurs, so they might find a way out on how they can beat Spurs, right? Then the last game of the day will be Liverpool and Aston Villa. Again, we've seen Liverpool not really performing well at the moment, and but they are looking forward to fix it. There might be some few problems that they wanted to solve it, but they'll get into that. Aston Villa is not an easy team to beat, especially given the fact that they have a strong defense, and the defense is really making some huge progress. So they conceded less goals, like I believe less than 10 goals. So it tells you how strong defensive they are. So it's going to be a tough test for Liverpool, and I do hope Liverpool might come superior or maybe successful or victorious against this game. I mean, in this game, but who knows? Aston Villa is also like a tough team to challenge. Given their history with Liverpool, it's going to be a tough game. That's the last game of the day. That's Saturday. Then on Sunday we have few games. That's two games. So we have West Ham United playing Newcastle. I would say Newcastle will be victorious in this game. West Ham is still messy around. Well, they still have a lot to fix. A lot of things to put across. So I think Newcastle is going to be an interesting game. But again, Newcastle, Walter Mada is a good striker at the moment, and that guy is making impact. So I would say Newcastle will still be, victorious in this game and winning. City and Bournemouth is an interesting game, and we'll also listen to all the pre-match conferences from all these coaches. So this one, City, Bournemouth, this one really, if you want to stake, I would say go for more than 2 goals because Bournemouth at all costs might score 2 goals. If at all, then they will score 1 goal. So I would say you have to go for 2 goals here. City at home, they will score goals, but Bournemouth as well, they will score goals. So this is the most if you want to see goals among all these games, the most flooding one with goals will be City and Bournemouth, and that's an interesting game. But again, we'll listen to pre-match conferences from all the coaches and everybody. Then Sunderland and Everton. This is a Monday night football. It's a it's a tough one. Everton is good defensive. Sunderland, it's also good defensively. So it's a tough game. Anybody can win actually in this game. Either Sunderland can win this game or Everton can win this game. There's a small margin of this game going to a draw, but this game, I would say still some huge impact on that one. So these are the games. These are the games that we're looking into, and these are the games Matchweek 10. And again, these games will shape the table on how it looks like. Um, let's get into pre-match conference. The first game. Let's listen to the first game of the day. Was it Liverpool, Aston Villa? No. Let's just start with press match conference. Arsenal. What Arteta is saying about his players. Just listen to what he says about his players here. And
still getting closer, I think in the right direction, but not available yet.
So Saliba's got a chance, but Martinelli, do you foresee how long he might be out for?
No, we don't know yet, but I think this game is going to come too early for him.
Just on those other 4 that you mentioned, just Jesus, Odegaard, Matchweek, Havertz, have you got any updates on when they could be back?
I would say weeks, and some of them pretty soon, hopefully, if they keep evolving the way they are doing. But difficult to put a game, that we have the international break, which is a 2-week break there. And after that, I think we'll have some back. I don't know if it's going to be all of them, some of them, but we'll be quite close by then.
Imagine bringing your son.
so Arteta basically is talking. We have a doubt on Gabriel Martinelli. He's not sure, but potentially he has that high chance of playing this game too. So we'll see. But the rest of the players like Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, Madueke, they are still like weeks away. So hopefully they will join the team and they will, again start as fresh and do everything. Let's listen to Pep Guardiola match conference against Bournemouth. What he's saying. Guardiola is that kind of a funny coach, and he's always a good guy to listen to. So listen to him about what he says about Bournemouth, and
I think that it's impressive. So when you lose three or 4 players for the back 4, PSG, Madrid, and Liverpool, and you reinvest the team with new players and do it in that way is because there are a lot of good work behind.
We saw Nottingham Forest qualify for Europe last season, Bournemouth second at the moment. How much has the league changed since you've been here, and does that traditional top 6 still exist, do you think?
Yeah, but I remember when I was in Munich or in Barcelona, always I had the rumor here in England that it's more difficult that everyone can beat everyone. No? They always had that sense, that it doesn't matter, you go away. Maybe Liverpool and ourselves in the past, changed that dynamics, that we were so consistent in terms of points, arriving every season more than 90 points, close to 100 points. But I think Premier League maybe it's back to always have been, that the teams can beat it, and it's good. I think, it's like some.
Yeah, you see, that's how Pep Guardiola is always like. One thing I like from Pep is he's media trained. He knows how to respond to these journalists, and he keeps things calm. And this is one of the most strength that I've loved from Pep Guardiola. When he was in Bayern Munich or when he was in Barcelona, he kept hearing in English Premier League a team can beat a team, number 20 can beat number 1, and that's true. That's fact. It's true. But he knows how to address these kind of questions, and so he wouldn't be surprised if he's beaten by Bournemouth. He was responding basically on the Nottingham Forest being I mean, qualifying for for European top spot. So that's the response. Like any team can beat a team. So when a team can beat a team, then there's a high chance of qualifying for European sports or European competition and compete there. So that's really what I like from Pep. But also he's giving credits to Bournemouth because this game is going to be like more, again. Bournemouth, it's not a coincidence that they found themselves to be on in that table, like the top 3 or top 4. So it's going to be a tough game. So he's expecting anything to happen. But obviously, for him when he's playing at home, there might be some other minimal chances that might draw him to switch and alter the game and win that game. But it's an interesting game to watch. So why not? Let's go to Ruben Amorim. Potentially, manager of the month. I don't know, but yeah, he did some good progress, and yeah, he's in there to be the manager of the month voting. So let's listen to him about the game of Nottingham Forest.
Forest under Sean Dyche. You've obviously played him before when he was manager of Everton. Do you know exactly what to expect from his team on Saturday?
More or less. I watched the last game. Was one of the first ones here that we won, and we were so lucky in that game. You look at the result, was not that result. Should not be that result. I watch against Porto. I watch against Bournemouth. The style of play is similar, different characteristics. I watched one game that we did in pre-season with Sporting, so to try to understand how he played in that game, and it's similar. He can change some characteristics of the players, and then with the talent that they have, especially with Gibbs White, Anderson, Odoi, very good players. So we need to be prepared for a different game against Brighton. We had space to play. We are not going to have that space. We need to understand that we are not being the same team away and at home. So we need to improve the way we control the environment. Every tackle is a big moment for the opponent fans. So we need to play better away. We are prepared for a very tough match.
Fascinating, Ruben. Ahmad and
Yeah, that's true. He acknowledges Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche is also one of the good managers. Yeah, he's a good manager to me, and yeah, credits to Amorim. He acknowledges this guy, and also he understands the danger and the threat that Nottingham Forest possess. He mentioned the likes of Gibbs White. He's a good number 10, one of the best players I always love, and we have Hudson Odoi. Hudson Odoi is also a good winger and he can do well. Anderson at the other side, also in the midfield, is also like a good player. So he acknowledges this he acknowledges the coach and how the coach approaches the game and everything on that. So it's going to be like more interesting on it. So yeah, it's a good game. I would say it's really a good game. So let's look into that and see what will happen. So yeah, Manchester United, and listen to Liverpool and Aston Villa. Let's listen to the guy. They've been having, I don't know, it's not a problem, but they've been inconsistencies and everything within the team around and anything like everything surrounding the team is still having some. I think they still have some problems in there. So let's look at Arne Slot, what he says about the upcoming game and the Liverpool performance and everything. Just a short notice on what he's trying to say.
It happens after the 10th game and 9 of them were so much focus on long balls, then I think it's fair to say for me, if you ask me the question, why is it difficult to say this without opening the eyes of upcoming opponents. These two teams we face now indeed bring the ball more out of the back, but they're also really good in it. So I think City is a high pressing team. We're really good in high pressing, but I did see Villa being able to play through that multiple times. And if I'm 100% correct, I think I am. They won the game by a set piece. Yeah. So another time, the importance of a set piece.
it might not be too much to say that
he's aware of the set pieces nowadays in England. Arsenal have shown most of the teams how to use set pieces, and everybody's trying to embark on set pieces, because if you think open play is not going on well with you, then you might need to try set pieces and find a goal from there and at least secure 3 points. So the 2 games coming, that's Villa and City. It's a tough game for them before the international break. So he's thinking of what he's going to approach this game and how these teams approach his teams and his team, and how they come together and collide and win games, or maybe a draw. It's a tough game. Again, he knows Aston Villa. Like I said earlier, Aston Villa is good defensively, so they might challenge you and you might concede less goals. So that's not easy, but yeah. Then the best game of the day. That's a Saturday. That's between Chelsea and Spurs. Let's listen to the coaches about specifically their players. We saw what happened in the midweek in the EFL Cup when the guy, Chelsea striker, was red carded, and we just wanted to hear from Maresca what he thinks about the red cards. They have received like the sixth red card of the season. Yeah, the sixth one. So let's listen to what he says about the red cards and maybe on what Delap did.
Into that and whether you've spoken to him since Wednesday night, explained to him how you saw it from your point of view and what he had to say.
No, but I don't need to speak with Liam. Anyway, I spoke with Liam, but Liam is he knows everything. He's aware of the situation. He knows that he made a mistake, and full stop. No more than that.
Do you think the players appreciate you being as open and honest as you were on Wednesday night?
This is a question for them. The problem is that when I say that there is no concern about red card, no concern. If I say that we need to avoid red card, it's we need to avoid red card. I say what I think is correct to say. Sometimes we had red card that was difficult to avoid, and sometimes we had some red card that we could avoid.
Do you think, generally speaking, there is a problem with discipline?
I think that some of the red card that we concede, we can avoid that.
And likewise, some of the yellow cards you were saying on Wednesday night as well were avoidable as well.
I don't know.
Yeah, yellow cards you can avoid, then the red cards, because in most cases, like what happened between the Delap thing and the referee is that he had a yellow card before he was given a second yellow card, and then followed by that red card. So this is where the problem comes in. He says they can avoid yellow cards because when you avoid yellow cards, there's a less chance of you getting a red card. And again, when the journalist asks about the discipline, yeah, it could be the discipline of the players, but those are the things that you can avoid. And let's hope. Actually, let's see how Thomas Frank responded to Chelsea's red cards also, like how, because the journalist was trying to ask him if he can, benefit from those kind of cards, Chelsea being red carded and they win the game. Listen to Thomas Frank about what he thinks on if Chelsea's red cards can benefit him in this upcoming game.
In the Premier League against a very good manager and a very good team.
The famous Battle of the Bridge took place nearly 10 years ago, plenty of yellow cards. Chelsea recently conceded their sixth red card in just 9 games. That lack of discipline, is that something that you can take advantage tomorrow with all the pressure your fans going to put on Chelsea?
I haven't looked into every single red card that I've had of the 6 they got. Probably different reasons. Probably not only lack of discipline, can also be coincidence. So I don't know. It's about us and the game we can play, and we need to perform and be intense with a cool head.
Hi Thomas, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's it. So if Chelsea gets a red card again, exploit the use of that red card and win the game, and that's as simple as it is. It all depends with the coach and maybe the team's discipline. So if you're not, I remember Arsenal starting the season with almost like 4 red cards, and it wasn't really something that was more pleasing to Arsenal players, and again it haunted them, especially when they were going to go for the title. So again, depends with the discipline of the players. If things don't go well, then it's not gonna be okay. But yeah, so that's what Thomas Frank said about the game. So this is the most interesting game. Like I said, Chelsea and Spurs is going to be like a tough game of Saturdays, and let me say of the week. And good London teams really fighting off, and let's see. Anyway, so that is it exactly for Matchweek 10, and after the Matchweek 10, we'll also look into the analysis of the, we'll talk about what has happened and maybe like, the complications from the VAR and everything on it. So all the best to the teams, all the best to the teams playing their matches, and to the fans across all England, UK, everywhere who are supporting this English Premier League again. Guys, shout out to all of you, and And all the best in your games and matches. And for the fans, again, if you haven't subscribed yet on this channel, let's make it big and let's make it more like, English Premier League fan channels. Okay, so let's get into it. If you haven't subscribed yet, just listen to the content. If it's okay, just go with it. If not, then that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah, but just listen to the content. Pay attention to it. The more we come together, the more we share more content. Okay, and we'll be able, to connect and talk our, opinions and views about, the games, and hopefully you might come on camera one time here and sit down, or maybe we go there and talk about your views about your game, about your team, and everything about it. So yeah, shout out to all the teams up there. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it for now. As of now, guys, best of luck and everything. And yeah, cheers to all the teams as of now. Bye.